What's up? It's Juice Beats, back again with another race video. And this one is the Smokies Stadium Criterium Series Masters 35 Plus, March 24th. This is day 3. This is my second race of the day. And just getting started here, starting out fast. If you watch my other video from the 345, you know that I had a small staple or piece of metal or something that was stuck in my tire right before that race, and the tire ran flat throughout the race. And then after that one, I was scrambling trying to get it fixed and tried some super glue. That didn't plug up the hole, so I decided to throw a tube in there. I normally run tubeless, but I threw a tube in there, got it all blown up, fixed up, and then jumped into this race shortly after. So was able to get all that done in the amount of time that I had in between the races there. I think we had a pretty good amount of time in between the races, so it wasn't like bang bang or anything like that. So was able to get that fixed up and then jump into this race, and felt pretty good so far. I actually in this race averaged a little less power than I did in the first race, so 275 average power and 320 normalized. But I had a huge sprint speed or sprint power of 1,633 watts. So that comes a little bit later, but that was in the sprint in the end. And yeah, so I was, compared to the first race, I was more efficient in this one. And I think it was kind of twofold. It was, you know, I did a much better job of drafting in this race, and I wasn't caught with you know, two riders that were basically blocking the entire race. So that was part of it. And then also yeah, not having the tire issue in this race throughout. So yeah, I had to put out a lot more watts in that race because I was kind of making up for the squishy tire in the back. And this race, 2 blown up tires, and yeah, being more efficient in the draft. So watts average was a little bit lower, but also this race went a lot faster too. I was in the break here, so sorry about that. Again, with the back cam, didn't quite work out for this race, so just have the front cam. Not sure why it's not lasting for, you know, a couple races or whatever, but here I am. This is the second lap, and I'm in the lead group, and I think we actually have got a little bit of a breakaway going right here with this group. So looks like 5, 6 guys so far. There's one out front right now that is got a little bit of a lead on everybody. But yeah, so I'm in this group of 5, and I believe there are a couple more behind me as well. So it ends up being a group of 8. But yeah, sorry, just don't really realize it because I don't have that back camera. But yeah, so it ends up being a group of 8 out here in front that breaks away. And here you can see my buddy Andrew Shaw. So he's in that white and blue kit, just a couple riders ahead there. And so last race, he was the one who made that hero move and broke away from our second chase group to make it up to the first chase group in the last race. And yeah, so I didn't really realize, like, at the time, because he was wearing a different jersey, that you know, he was kind of part of the CTS team there. He was wearing a Knox Velo jersey at the time, so that's why it was kind of difficult. But I think, you know, he had 2 teammates in that second chase group, and I'm not sure exactly because I didn't get a chance to talk to him about it, but yeah, they could have been working for him in that race. But yeah, I made it to the front group in this one, and I'm sticking hard to the wheels the best I can beginning of this race. And like I said, this is my second race of the day, and this one was definitely much more spicy, much faster than the first one, because I'm out in that front group and I'm not being blocked by other teammates here. So you can see we're already putting down the watts early, and this part of the course is cross headwind. So we're actually moving pretty well through this cross headwind. You know, if you looked at the last video that I did, we were probably mid 25 mile per hour, somewhere around there, mid 20s miles per hour wise, and now we're looking, you know, close to 30 miles per hour in this race. So we're definitely moving really well together. Got some strong guys out here, and while this does say Masters 35 plus, these guys that I'm in a group with are mostly ones and twos, like cat ones and twos. So they are no slouches in the race game. So yeah, that's what I'm competing with out here. Even though we're in the Masters group, I'm basically riding with ones and twos at the moment. I believe the Youngbloods rider out front at the moment, he is the only other three in this group, if I'm not correct. I believe so, yeah. Because I looked up everybody else, and I think they're all ones and twos. So that's who I'm competing with out here, and yeah, it makes me feel good that I'm out here in that front group, riding with them and riding with some other strong riders. And obviously, yeah, second race of the day, I'm being more efficient and feeling pretty strong at this point. So you can see we've got a couple riders trying to break off from our group already. Very tough to do in this cross headwind at the moment, and you can see we're working well together, getting back to their wheels and just staying close together at this point. So there was a lot of that in this group. There was a lot of guys that wanted to kind of break away and just really couldn't. It got really tough for them to break away because, you know, you've got that headwind going into the start-finish straight, and then you do have a tailwind here. So this was a point where a lot of people tried to make their attacks, but by the time that you got to that start-finish straight, we had already caught back up because of you know, the headwinds, being able to work together as a group compared to a single rider like that. And then yeah, just hitting that headwind really took a lot out of you if you were, you know, kind of by yourself. So that's kind of how this group went. There were a lot of attacks from this group, but a lot of them came right back because of that. So here we go. Here's another attack into the tailwind here. Gotta stick on the wheels, gotta stay in there and follow. Don't want to get left behind at this point. And yeah, the other thing, you know, the whole the wind change on this day really changed the dynamics of the races completely. Like I definitely felt the difference. Like I said, I couldn't underestimate how strong the winds were the first couple days of this series. You know, you had the headwind on the backside as opposed to the headwind of the front side going into the start-finish straight this time. So it was more difficult for me as a bigger rider to go into the headwind of the twisty bits here, the technical section, than it was to have a tailwind. So the tailwind definitely helped out a bit on this section. I was able to keep my power and not lose places because you know, hitting that wall of wind, as opposed to, you know, some of the smaller guys who were able to kind of cut through the wind a little bit easier here. So here we go, coming around the first corner of the track here. Just skip forward just barely. But here's the section where I was talking about, where, you know, some of these attacks would go, and the Youngbloods rider out there out front is pushing the pace. And yeah, I mean, we're kind of sticking to him a little bit here. There's a couple times I believe later that he gets a little bit more of a lead on us, but we're still able to kind of catch back up to him in this race. So I was able to get through the technical section, I think pretty well, but did have to push a little bit here to get back on the wheel. But you can see how we all kind of come right back together here, and I was able to get right back on the wheel. Very tough to get away on this section at this point in the race. All right, so there's been a lot of back and forth with our front group here, and you can see 2, 4, 6, 7. I'm the seventh guy in this group at the moment, and yeah, there's just been a lot of back and forth between us all in this race so far, and yeah, I was getting a little bit tired at this point. Like, yeah, obviously this is my second race of the day, and I was kind of sagging back a little bit, and but I wanted to keep pushing myself, so kind of dug down deep here and just wanted to make sure that I stuck in there the best I could at this point in the race. Didn't want to give up here. So there's the 8th guy right there. So there's our group of 8. I've kind of fallen to the back here. Like I said, I got a little bit tired at this point in the race, and yeah, we're a little over halfway going into our 13th lap here of, I believe, yeah, 22. So still a long way to go, but yeah, haven't given up or anything like that. But definitely feeling much better than the first race of the day, especially not having that back squishy tire and all that stuff. So feeling good that I'm still in with this strong group here, and yeah, thinking about positioning and all that at this point in the race, like where I need to be as far as like going into the last few laps of the race. Let's see if there's an attack. No, there was no attack at this point. He is pushing the pace out there out front, but not really an attack at this point. So trying to stick on the wheels the best I can at this point in the race. We still have a little over 11,000 meters to go. So this point in the race, yeah, I was just trying to move up a few places, and then I realized that I guess I got somewhat of a good jump here. And yeah, you can see my power is not really high or anything, but they just kind of let me roll off the front here. And I didn't realize, like, at the time, because you know, I talked to Andrew after the race, and he was like, yeah, we just kind of let you go and just let you ride off. And I didn't realize how much of a gap I had. I think I had maybe a couple second gap at this point, and I wasn't really putting down a whole lot of wattage here. You can see I'm barely over 500 there going up into the start finish, and normally we're doing like 600 to 800 somewhere in there. So that was kind of the difference there, and you can see even my miles per hour at this point, like I'm not pushing hard, but I somehow got a gap there. Really wasn't trying to put in a dig, and I don't think it would have been smart going into that headwind anyway. I actually couldn't tell at the time if the flag was like moving too much. Maybe I didn't have too much of a headwind, but yeah, just I don't think it would have been smart at that point to try to put in, you know, a huge dig or something and try to get a lead anyway. And then yeah, so they caught back up to me at the first turn there. So no big deal or anything like that. Wasn't trying to really get away, just trying to kind of just, you know, keep the momentum going at that point. Oh, and oh boy, I let too much of a big gap go right here. Like I said, a little bit tired at this point in the race. We're 16 laps in, and yeah, I let a little bit of a gap go at this point, and then I'm kind of paying for it, trying to get back up to my group here. And let's see, I think we've met up with we're finally lapping the chase group. So we're coming on to them. They've kind of latched on. And this was a point, I believe, in the last like Masters race where, you know, the group kind of got all together like this, and then they started to pull away from me. But at this point in the race, like I'm in that lead group, and I can't let them get away at this point. Like I know I let things go a little bit, and I was out of position, but I've got to push hard to get back up to the wheel. And you can see like I'm getting right there. I'm getting close. I'm pushing out a lot of watts here, using that tailwind to my advantage at this point. There's a little bit of a lull in the group there. So if I could just get back onto a wheel, I can stick in there a little bit better. And there I go. Yeah, so getting right back up there. Was able to get back onto the group. Wasn't left behind here, but see, you know, I've got a lot of guys that are in that lap group together right now, and I need to get back up to my group. So I need to get around these guys here at the back and get back up to my group. I'm pushing, over 900 there. And yeah, just trying to make it back up to my front group there, because I know if anything goes down at this point, like I'm kind of screwed at the back of the peloton at this point. So, yeah. So I'm talking to one of the riders there, and he's saying, "Are you in that group?" And yeah, I'm telling him, "Yeah, I am." And so yeah, he's like, "Yeah, you need to get up there." So I am. I'm jumping up, getting back up to my group. There's Kent right there. So Kent is with that CTS team, and Andrew is in the break with my group or whatever, and he's up there. So they're in that the blue and the white kids, and so he's latched onto our group at this point. He's a good wheel to follow anyway, and since he's been in the chase group behind us the whole time, he's still probably got a lot of energy and whatever. So good wheel to follow. And like I said, he is a two-time U.S. national champion in the individual time trial. So yeah, even though he's older, he's still very, very strong and still very, very able to take you to the promised land. So a good wheel to follow. But I do need to get up a little bit closer here, so that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, just like the last time, don't want to be dangling on the back too much here at this point in the race. I definitely want to make sure that I get in better position. And so I think that's what I'm trying to do here. Obviously, like I said, I am tired, and so, you know, second race of the day, taking a lot of toll on me, and having to push out a lot of watts in that first race because of the squishy tire, and then coming in this one and having those attacks throughout the race, and just a lot of punchiness throughout. So a lot of matches in this, but I think my fitness is holding pretty well. Like I've noticed every single week that I've done the races, like my fitness has gone up. So I think that's, you know, a really good thing, and good things to come for the actual season. You know, this is obviously early season racing. It counts, but it's also kind of practice for me for later on, just to see where I'm at. And so, yeah, that's what I'm doing out here. So I've latched on, got a couple good wheels in front, but I definitely need to move up, and that's what I'm thinking at this point. Like, we're coming down to the last few laps. We're 18 in out of 22, and I know I need to move up. So that's what I'm thinking at this point in the race. Coming down to it here, I am behind this Bike Zoo rider right here. He has been in the front group with us this entire time. Good wheel to follow. I think he's either a Cat 1 or a Cat 2 as well. And you can see now, so there's been a little bit of a shuffle at this point, and you can see the CTS rider, Andrew Shaw, out there. I think he is third wheel. And then right in front of him is Kent Bostic at this point. So he was part of the lapped group. Oh, no, here he is. Sorry. I thought that was him out there, but he's jumping out in front now. So yeah, from what I remember right here, I saw Kent, do that little that jump up there. And so even though he's part of the lap group, he is still working for CTS at this point. So he's going to jump out front, and yeah, he's going to be leading out Andrew at the front of the race. And like I said before, like I was already thinking I needed to move up, but obviously I'm tired at this point in the race. It's been very punchy for me, having to put out a lot of watts and catch up to certain things and all that. But I know where I need to be, and it's not back here. This is what I needed to do. I needed to follow the bike zoo rider right in front with the zebra stripes. Not the one to my left, but the one just out in front there. I needed to follow him and get up to his wheel a little bit. So we're going into our last lap here, moving really, really quickly. And I think I just made my move a little bit too late in this race. Like I should have been a couple wheels up at least, just so that I had better position. But I'm kind of stuck at the moment in these in the technical portion. It's hard to kind of pass in this technical portion because the turns come so quick, and there's not really a chance for me to really go around like I need to at certain points, especially going as quickly as we are through these turns. But I'm hoping that I'm able to kind of open it up right here if I can get around these guys, and that's what I try to do here. So I jumped over 1,000 watts there, real quick jump, but also everybody else is thinking they need to move as well. So that's what they're doing. And I needed right here, I needed to get by that Youngbloods rider. I needed to get right on his wheel and move up a little bit more, but I just didn't have enough punch to get up there quick enough before the turn here. And here we go, going into that the start finish. Had a real big jump here. There we go, 1,633 watts. I'm passing a bunch of these guys right here. If I was in better position, it would have been a much better sprint right here. But I ended up getting 5th place in this group with a lot of strong riders in front of me. So felt pretty good about that, having a 1,633 watt sprint at the end of this race after being punchy and having a lot of matches burned throughout the day in my second race. So felt pretty good about that, but definitely just slightly out of position there at the end. And yeah, I wish I had got up to that wheel just a little bit closer. I think I would have had a really good finish right there with that sprint that I had. But not too bad. I feel pretty good about being 5th with a lot of guys that are Cat 1s and 2s out in front of me. So good racing. Finished out in 5th place in the Masters 35 Plus on my last day here, and so I take this little lap with everybody at the end of the race as well. And as soon as I get back to the start finish line, my tire busts. And yeah, so the tube that I put in right before this race actually pops at the end. So that's, I don't know what the hell happened, but pretty crazy there. But anyway, so my next race coming up, I believe, is Tiger Town, and that's near Clemson. And yeah, I went there last year. I was in the 4 or 5 group last year. This year is going to be in the 3s, so it's going to be a little bit different, a little bit faster, a little bit longer race. So I'm getting ready for that. But anyway, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon so you know when I post videos. And I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.